All right, welcome back to the NBA Daily. I'm Dave DuFour, here with my guest, who you may know as the former host of the excellent Brooklyn Nets podcast, The Glue Guys, also former producer here at The Athletic, who produced things like Playmakers, King's Reign, the LeBron James documentary that we did. Mike Smeltz, welcome home. How are you?
I'm so happy. I was texting one of my Nets, one of the people that listen to the Nets show. Yeah. The drummer of Vampire Weekend is a massive Nets fan, and I texted him. I said,
there, but you didn't give his name because why would we know? No, I'm just
kidding. CT, Chris Thompson, one of the greats. I was like, I'm going to talk Nets today. Couldn't be happier. I haven't talked Nets in a while. As you referenced, the Glue Guys pod, no more. We just couldn't do it anymore. It was too depressing, so we just ended it. And, but I'm happy to be with you.
What's so depressing about being a Brooklyn Nets fan?
Sure.
I mean,
it's all sunshine and pancakes over here. It's dope as hell to be a Nets fan. So
they were awful last year, and not because they necessarily have bad players. They don't really have any good ones. They have a very good coach, but they were 26-56 last year. Obviously, they were, we'll say they were tanking. It feels like they're probably lining up to do that again. Biggest change for them. Is it Michael Porter Jr. Adding him to the roster?
Yeah, it's so exciting to have that tone setter there at the top of the organization. MPJ, I'm going to defend the Nets probably consistently throughout the show. I felt like there was, particularly during the draft, there was a media pile on. I would be defending MPJ. My argument is, I know Cam Johnson's going to look so good with Jokic. It's going to be perfect. He's so good at resetting and shooting and all that good stuff. That's going to look like peak Contavious Caldwell-Pope, though he's not as good of a defender. But the thing is, I was like, all right, so we're blowing smoke up Cam Johnson's booty for being like a role player on a bad team. And MPJ was like an elite scorer at times on a championship team, right? So, okay, and I know the contract, let's not talk about the contract, and the Nets got a pick, right? So I would defend it, but MPJ has gone on the most epic media tour. If people haven't been following it, it's very big in Nets Twitter. What this guy, I won't even get into the topics he's discussed, but one of the things that he does is he publicly talked about this, plays an Andrew Tate podcast. If you don't know who Andrew Tate is, good for you.
Don't look him up.
While he's with, you may get investigated with women just to see the reaction. He has gone this media tour, won't go to specifics, that is the most insane thing. It's like he was, I don't know what the Denver Nuggets PR, congratulations. You've kept this guy under wraps, and now he's been unleashed as a media entity in the wildest way, but yet he's the Nets' best player and will get an insane amount of shots up this year. He is the most impactful change. Okay, so personal, right? Let's talk about the player.
Yeah.
I will defend an element of MPJ, which is just simply that his ceiling is higher than Cam Johnson's, and in the state that the Nets are in, it made all the sense in the world to get rid of Cam Johnson. I think they no one has reported this. I don't have any reporting. I think they made a little bit of a promise to Cam that they would move him. Mm-hmm. They've tried to trade him for years. Cam Johnson has then been the good soldier all that time. I think they basically said, because the deal was less than optimal, right? There was the discussion that the Grizzlies at one point were going to offer X amount of first round picks for a wing like Cam Johnson, and it didn't materialize. They had a very high price tag. I think they just said to Cam Johnson, if you're a good soldier, we will get rid of you this offseason for the best thing that we can get. They kind of did that with KD. Well, they very much did it with KD. When KD trade requested, rescinded his trade request, they traded him in the offseason. They happened to get a very good trade for Kevin Durant. Less so for Cam Johnson because Cam Johnson is not Kevin Durant. So anyways, MPJ is the best player, and he is a complete goof. But you know what? I'm going to be optimistic. I'm excited to see the guy unleash 25 shots a game and see what happens.
I mean, I think it'd be better than last year because of Michael Porter Jr. Do you think that improves their ceiling a little bit? I mean, this is not a team that's going to even they're not going to sniff the play in. And I don't think they necessarily want to. But, will they be more competitive in games?
So I'm still trying to decide if what happened in the lottery where they, as you said, they tanked the last 2/3 of the season, right? They had a good first third with Dennis Schroeder leading the way. And then they trade Schroeder. They did everything they could. Dorian Finney-Smith got out of town, right? They did everything they could to tank. They tanked, and then they still got the 8th pick in the draft. And I'm trying to decide if they organizationally will realize tanking isn't as fruitful as we believe, or if they're like, well, the odds can't screw us again. So let's tank. I mean, they're tanking.
Yes.
Just how bad of a tank it's going to be.
Well, okay, but they also have cap space, right? And the idea is that they wanted the cap space for the summer of 26. So next summer, when a lot of guys were potentially scheduled to be free agents, especially Luka Doncic, but Luka signed an extension. Summer of 26, free agency isn't really a thing anymore. So why have all this cap space? Why not try to be competitive now?
Well, because they want to go, they want to use all their draft picks. They have some of the best draft capital in the league, right? They want to use their draft picks to get like a super duper fun young player. Mm-hmm. This draft is going to be good. Again, maybe not Cooper Flag, but actually could be pretty
Cam
good.
Boozer he's going to be a good NBA player. So, I mean, if you can get, I think, one of the top 3 picks in this upcoming draft, you're in good shape. But like you just said, the math doesn't always math in your favor. No. So it's not a great strategy.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I wonder if, when you're sitting outside of the math, when you've not gone through the math gymnastics of the early lottery and you think, 14% chance for the top pick, 40% for a top 4 pick if you're in the top 3, whatever it is. It's like, so that looks like good math from the outside. And then you experience it and you're like, oh, crap. The Mavs get it from what were they, the 10th position?
11th.
11th. And so then, obviously the Spurs jumped up too. And then the Nets just damaged everything they sold. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, they're going to tank. There's no question. It's just how aggressive is the tank going to be? Are any
of these rookies exciting to you at all? Like, I mean, do you feel like they move the needle?
Yeah. Yegor, my guy. If anyone doesn't know, it's Igor. Dave, am I right about Yegor as a pronunciation? I know you were just in Europe.
Okay. I mean, sure. I haven't gotten the pronunciation guide, so I haven't seen it yet.
I'm pretty sure. So it looks like Igor, but it's Yegor. Like you're rooting for the Democrats in the 2000 election. That's the way I think about it.
Yegor Demin.
To be an optimist again. Early college basketball season at BYU, he was a top pick. Then his shooting craters. They take him. He's in Vegas and is lighting the world on fire. Okay. My guy was incredible from 3. And the more impressive thing, I'm a big listening to people talk guy, even though I've talked a lot on this podcast, but that he seems to love hoops. Like when you hear him in interviews, he talks about guys that are not like, how most guys say their favorite player is Paul George for whatever reason.
That is odd. Yeah, it does happen.
There's some weird algorithm thing that happened to children of that era, the Brandon Millers that thought that Paul George is the GOAT. But he's referencing sort of more obscure players, more players sort of aligned with who he is as a basketball player. I think he's going to be, it's going to get ugly, right? But I will always fall in love with a 6'8", 6'9" ball handler who is a smart person. And so that's what I think Yegor is. Now, is he going to be, I don't even know, is he going to be Getty with a worse jumper? I guess, but he's already shown that he's a better shoot. I know it's summer league, but summer league shooting is usually the thing, right? That translates anything can translate.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped about him. The rest of the dudes is just, who knows? They have 5 first-round picks. There's no way. Who knows?
That's a lot of mouths to feed. Speaking of mouths to feed, hey, look, Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
He wants to be fed. He signs the 1-year qualifying offer, betting on himself.
Great.
All right, you said MPJ is the best player on the team.
Yes.
Cam Thomas is going to act like it. So, like, what is the expectation from Cam Thomas this year on this 1 year? I mean, I know your head's in your hands right now, but
dude,
what do you expect? Is he going to shoot the ball more?
I just want to give people a Cam Thomas quick history lesson. Cam was brought on during the peak of the Nets, like KD. I think he was KD, Kyrie, and Harden. I think he still played with all of those dudes, and he would turn them down so he could take his own shot. He is going now that he's going for money. Not only is he going for money, he's going for retribution because the team they gave him such a, I mean, so anyone who's been a Glue Guys listener, and if you're a Glue Guys listener who is waiting to, like, who jumped in on this show just to hear what I'm talking about, God bless you. But Brian and I, my co-host, we've been Cam Thomas non-apologist. I don't want to call us haters for just because the way he plays basketball is something that's objectionable to me. Like, I like passing, and that's why I like Yegor Demon. Cam Thomas hates passing, just loathes it. Don't look at his assist numbers; those are like dump off passes because he runs into trouble. So, like, he's going to be the most selfish player in the league this year. Let's not say the history of basketball because I can't go that far back, but he's going to be pretty selfish. And he has a no trade clause because of that qualifying offer he signed. He will not be traded. I don't know if it's a no trade clause. It's just that he can't be traded. Right.
Yeah. It's not like he can. Yeah. It's like a 1 year contract.
Yeah. So he's going to shoot the ball an insane amount, and MPJ is going to shoot the ball an insane amount. And I don't like.
What about them together?
Who else will shoot?
Right? Do you feel like a pick and roll or pick and pop with these guys? I mean, do you feel like it's going to be effective? Or you?
Nope. No, because MPJ can't set screens because he's brittle, and Cam Thomas, a roll would be ineffective. He's not with he's gluten free as a roll man. He passes up the roll, gluten free on that. So he's not gonna. It's gonna be a disaster. I can't wait. I mean, honestly, I really wish he wasn't. He is a 20. Let's be fair. He's a 24 point per game scorer. He'd had 3 assists a game or whatever. Like he is
career high, like 3.8 assists.
Oh my God. Chris Paul, my guy. But he is not built to have a retribution. Show me the money season to help a team win. Now, conversely, that could be the best tanking solution possible. That you have these two ball hogs shooting the ball.
I don't know. Would you rather have Cam Thomas or Jordan Poole in this role? Right? Like, to me, Jordan I don't know. Yeah. You'd rather have Jordan. Okay. Yeah. Might be available. You never know.
Because I think Jordan Poole is more of a ball handling guard who could pass, where Cam is such an elite bucket getter, and he is insane. Like, his ability to score from anywhere is crazy, but it just, when you have a lot of young players in the team, I want them to touch the ball, and it's going to be harder for them to touch the ball if it's going to be shot.
Yeah. I mean, he does tend to be a black hole. Anybody on this roster, you can see them moving, whether it's for like future draft pick or, it's not going to be for a player, but who is on this roster that's going to help another team?
I can't wait for Terrence Mann to pop up on I don't even know if they're going to do where he at or whatever, the Charles Barkley thing. It's like, so Terrence Mann is a Brooklyn Net. They actually, like, in a trade to get a first round pick, they also took on his contract, and he has a pretty decent long contract. I've always liked Terrence Mann. He's going to be the classic, like, the Nets did have Dennis Schroeder, and they got value out of him and shipped him off to Golden State, right? Like, bad teams have an ability to take a guy who has some talent, who's been good enough, and to rehab that and then flip him. And I think that's what they're going to do with Terrence Mann. He's kind of perfect with MPJ. and Cam Thomas in that he doesn't need he's not a high volume dude.
Yeah.
So I could see him like easily, like if he's shooting 40% from three early in the season, his shooting numbers last year weren't that bad. It was 37% from three, 50% from the field. So like it wasn't as horrible of a situation as it maybe kind of felt when he didn't ascend when his career trajectory was ascending. He just kind of went down. So I could see him being flipped. 2 second-round picks. The Nets could have 28 second-round picks over the next.
What about Nick Claxton?
Yeah, I would love to get rid of him. I would love to.
I mean, it feels like, again, it's sort of like Cam Johnson to a certain degree, although a lesser player. But this is a useful rotation big on a team that is not going to be competitive. And I mean, you think a couple of years ago when the Mavs made the big swing and got Daniel Gafford and how that changed their season. I mean, could Claxton be a guy like that for one of these teams? Like maybe the Lakers, who might need a backup center, depending on what happens there with DeAndre Ayton and some of the guys that they've got. Claxton is a guy that always pops up to me is, why is he not available, or why aren't teams going after him? I mean, maybe that's the question for you is, how come teams aren't going after Nick Claxton?
I mean, it's just that he's 3 years left. He's at $25 million this year, which is a lot for a guy. So like when Claxton was on those KD, Kyrie, James Harden teams, he was an awesome fifth starter as the center, so flexible defensively, could legitimately guard guards when he's had to switch onto them. And obviously he could protect the rim. He wasn't like a imposing force in terms of as a body on bigger bodies, but he was great as a help defender and all that stuff and extremely flexible. He just makes $25 million. And it's hard to find. That's kind of where it is, where it's like, it's hard to find a team that needs a center to pay a center that really can't create on their own. But the good thing about Claxton is he, as Sean Marks tends to do with these guys, declining salary figure on that contract. So $25 million this year. I think next year is when you get rid of him, when you can, because then it's 23 with the rising cap. And then it's 21 in his last year of the deal. He'll only be 28 years old. The thing that's hard is that like it's going to be hard for him to look good on this team again, because there isn't a like a ball handler looking to help out a big. And Claxton is just one of those bigs who needs a ball handler who's looking to help out. So like he's going to look, unless if he's nuclear defensively, nuclear being a good term as opposed to a nuclear disaster. So if he can be what he kind of was maybe 2 years ago defensively, 3 years ago defensively, he's still young, 25 years old. Well, I think he's 26 now, but like he could be someone and he could be very helpful. It's just the $25 million. It's hard to find that unless if it's one of those situations where like the Nets get a bad contract, send out Claxton, and you just kind of, the Nets like shorten the window of that net Claxton contract with like, I don't know, name some guy who's making 25 and this is the final year of their deal.
Are the Nets going to be the worst team in the East? I mean, I know that's the goal.
Please.
Can they pull it off?
So who's the competition? I mean, Wizards are too good.
Right. The Wizards might have too many guys, and their young guys need to play. They showed a lot of promise, I thought, last year. And also, like the Wizards also have veterans who are going to play to start the year. I think that the Wizards will be better than they were by a lot last year. I mean, Brooklyn is kind of the only team to me that didn't feel like they got
Hornets
better.
Are like, the Hornets have a way better base of talent.
Yeah.
Like if they tanked this year, that would be bad. Like the Hornets are a team ready to be interesting.
They should be fighting for the play-in. The Hornets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Nets have this clear, beautiful, it's so rare in the greater New York City area to have a clear road. They have a clear road, wide open, ready to just drive through to tank. I mean, really, even if you look in the West, there's not a ton of teams that are like clearly tanking teams on that. So like they have a real tank opportunity, but again, the benefit of that opportunity isn't quite as juicy as it used to be. Yeah. But they'll tank.
Let's say that it doesn't go well. They don't get a top 3 pick. I mean, how long can this team be this bad? At a certain point, don't the Nets need to at least just field an actual professional basketball team that is competing, whether it's competing for the play-in or the 6th seed or whatever. I mean, don't they need to get good players in there at some point, or people just willing to trust the process until it hits?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I think if the team stinks this year, which they will, and then they get the 7th pick, let's just say, or whatever, and it's so disappointing, no, like the whole thing, like players, they do want to come to New York. There's obviously no space in the Knicks to come to New York now, and so the Nets will be sitting there. To me, the next move is like the reign of Sean Marks will probably be over, because that's the time you kind of say goodbye to the GM. He's gotten to rebuild twice or almost like 3 times if you really think about the KD Kyrie like micro build as its own rebuilding session. So like that's kind of the time. So then who do you bring in? And is it now, because it's a fresh start, that administration will have the ability to tank, or is it will bring in a, I'm trying to think what like good front office, like someone from the Pacers to be like, you know what, we're going to be the Pacers of New York, which is we're not going to tank. We're just going to try to always be pretty good. And then if we can grab a Tyrese Halliburton, we're going to do it. Right. That's a great plan. So yeah, they can't, I mean, it's going to feel pretty, I know this is such a sad pod. It's going to feel pretty sad this year.
Yeah.
The cool thing is there are 5 first-round picks to like get in on and to be excited about. And my old, like when I really think back to my favorite time being a podcaster for the Nets, it was when Spencer Dinwiddie and Joe Harris and those guys were like bubbling up, when Jared Allen was becoming, you're like, oh, Jared Allen, he's like a 21st pick in the draft.
Yeah.
That was obviously a steal. So, yeah, I didn't mention him on purpose. Yeah. But, because I was anti-Caris. I used to call him No Legs LeVert because he just always got hurt. So anyway, so so there's a version of this team where if you remove sort of from your mind, let's say Cam Thomas and MPJ, you kind of separate them out into their own tranche of bucket shooting. Well, then there's this like, the common complaint about the Nets draft was, they had too many ball handlers. It's like, when? Oh, there's one ball. When has there been too many ball handlers? Like, ball handling is a skill. It's not a negative. Too many not shooters in terms of efficiency, but shooters in terms of people looking for their shot. That's a potentially bad thing. But pretty much all of their draft picks that they got, besides Drake Powell, are ball handlers. Even Danny Wolf is a 7-foot point center. Right. So like that will be fun to watch and exciting. But you're just gonna have to slog through a lot of MPJ, Cam Thomas stuff. Though I will say there's an entertainment to bucket getting, and Cam Thomas, as much as I was negative about him in this, he's a very entertaining player when it's right. And MPJ, few players look as good as him at moments, like from a pure bucket getting. So it's, there'll be some visual appeal.
Cam Thomas is going to be must watch, I think. But good. I echo your sentiments. There you have it. Mike Smeltz says the Nets, they're going to be sad. The 25-26 Brooklyn Nets. Mike Smeltz, thanks for joining me for this very sad season preview for the Brooklyn Nets.